The priest wasn't looking at me. His eyes were fixed on something behind me, like something had stepped quietly into the room. His voice dropped. The broken ones. The vulnerable ones. The ones who are already hollowed out. He finally met my eyes. The ones who think they're choosing love, but are really choosing him. And then, we heard a child giggle. Soft. Light. But stretched, like it had traveled from the end of a long, dark tunnel. I froze. The priest didn't flinch. He simply shook his head. "I can't help you," he whispered. "Not here. Not with this. No blessing. No warning. No attempt to fight." He turned and walked away. I wanted to scream. To chase after him. To demand answers. But the words wouldn't come. I stood there, numb, my son resting quietly in my arms, calm, blinking slowly, like he didn't see the world the same way I did. That night, I told myself it was nothing. I was tired. Overwhelmed. Maybe the priest misunderstood. Maybe I did. This can't be real. This isn't happening. But the very next night, when I put him to bed, he was unusually quiet. No fuss. Just staring. Just after midnight, I heard it again. Children's laughter, fluttery, too soft, too strange. Then a voice started singing from the living room. The melody was eerie, and I didn't recognize the tune. I rushed to his room. He was already looking at the door, like he'd been waiting. His lips parted. And in a voice far too clear, too adult, he said,
"You shouldn't have gone to church."
I froze. He shouldn't even be able to talk yet. I sat outside his door with the baby monitor turned all the way up. At 3:12 a.m., it clicked on again. Breathing. Then a voice, low, hoarse. Not my son's.
"She knows. Should I hurt her now?"
My blood turned to ice. I crept to his room and peeked inside. He was sitting up in bed, facing the closet. The door was slightly open. He laughed, deliberate, quiet, like someone had just whispered a secret in his ear. My throat tightened. "What's so funny?" I asked. He turned toward me.
"Mommy,"
he said, in a voice that didn't belong to him.
"he is here."
I backed out. That night, I packed. Corvin had fallen asleep again, peaceful as ever, and I didn't dare wake him. I didn't care where we went. Just, away. But when I reached the front door, there was no handle. No lock. Just smooth, solid concrete where the door had once been. My breath caught. My chest tightened. I stepped back, heart pounding so loud I thought it might crack my ribs. Then I saw him. A man was standing at the end of the hallway. But his face, it wouldn't hold still. It flickered like static. First my boyfriend. Then a stranger. Then something inhuman, smiling. I stumbled back, nearly tripping. The lights flickered. The air turned ice cold. "Who are you?" I whispered. He stared straight at me, unblinking.
"Don't you remember me?"
My blood went cold. "Varnak. No. That's not possible. You vanished." I filed a report. They said.
"They said I never existed."
He said flatly.
"And they were right."
I shook my head. "You're not real." He stepped closer, still holding the baby.
"You begged to be seen. To be loved."
He said. "This has to be another nightmare," I whispered. "You're not real." But he didn't move. Didn't blink. Just stared, with eyes that used to feel familiar. Now hollow. I shut mine tight. If I didn't look, maybe it would all disappear. Maybe the world would snap back to normal. My skin felt too tight. The air, too thick to breathe. My heart was racing so fast it felt like it might claw its way out of my chest.
"I've always been real,"
he said.
"You just didn't know what I was."
I opened my eyes. He was still there. And the baby. He turned to look at me. Calm. Not confused. Not scared. As if he recognized him. As if he'd been waiting, too. And he smiled. Same grin. Same eyes. The room shrank. The walls pressed inward. The floor stretched away. The overhead light flickered, once. Then dimmed. And I fainted. When I woke up, everything was back to normal. The door was back. The baby was in his crib. I told myself it was just another nightmare. But part of me knew it wasn't. Maybe he didn't want me to leave. And now, as I write this, it's getting harder to pretend. Something happened. Stranger than everything before. I was cleaning the living room. Corvin played quietly on the floor, his alphabet blocks scattered around, some under the couch, some in his lap. I wasn't paying much attention. Until he tugged at my sleeve.
Mommy.
He said, pointing at the carpet. There, neatly lined up, he had spelled.
Grandma says hi. She's cold.
Then he went back to stacking blocks like nothing had happened. The phone rang.
Done.
They told me my grandmother had passed at 4 a.m. But he knew. This wasn't the first time he'd acted strange. Was it him? Was something wrong with the apartment? I told myself no. But I must tell you this. It never starts big. It starts with small things. Things seemed harmless enough, doors closing that were left open, creaks in the house, random objects moved. Nothing that would immediately draw fear. I thought I was tired. Forgetful. Then the faucet turned on. Not dripped. Not leaked. It blasted. Water roared out, like someone had yanked it full force. But no one was there. I ran to shut it off. It went quiet. Then, it turned on again. No one believed me. But that thing, whatever it was, never let me forget. Sleepless nights, I blamed on caffeine. Shadows, on stress. But things spiraled. I started showing up late. Forgetting things. My eyes were always bloodshot from staring at the ceiling, listening to whispers I couldn't prove existed. I left the oven on. Missed appointments. Walked into rooms and forgot why I'd entered them. One night, I found muddy footprints leading from the front door to the edge of my bed. Too large to be mine. It got worse at night. Sleep became a luxury. I'd lie awake, paralyzed by a fear I couldn't name, wondering if it would ever stop. The TV was the only thing that distracted me, just noise and light to drown out the silence. Until one night, I passed out on the couch, the room dimly lit by the flickering screen. Then crying. Sharp. Sudden. Desperate. I leaned toward the baby monitor, heart already pounding that I shot to my feet. The hallway stretched before me, darker than it should have been. Each step felt colder than the last, the wooden floor groaning under my weight like it didn't want me to go further. The nursery door creaked open before I even touched it. Corvin was awake. Quiet. Watching. I scooped him into my arms, my breath shallow, hands trembling. But the voice followed me. Not through the monitor, not through the TV, just there, like it was inside the walls, inside my head.
You asked to be seen. Now you are.
And then, the TV spoke. Not static. Not random noise. A voice. Deep. Calm. Certain.
The devil is real, and he appears in many forms.